All right, Liquid Trucking, let's be honest with ourselves here. Most of the time, New Year's Eve is just a performance review we didn't ask for. Every year, the clock hits midnight, and suddenly everybody's like, hey, how'd you do? Did you hit your goals? Did you miss your goals? Did you aggressively ignore them and tell yourself we're going to circle back to that? Because that calendar flips whether we're ready for it to or not. It doesn't care if you had a plan or if your plan got absolutely wrecked by life somewhere around February. And today, we're not doing the fake version of reflection here on the show. No new year, new me, no vision boards, no pretending you're suddenly waking up at 4:30 a.m., drinking green juice and journaling. We're talking about the real 2025 here. The wins you're proud of but don't brag about, the goals you missed but learned something from, the stuff that went right, the stuff that went sideways, and the stuff that's taught you, okay, I'm not going to do that again. Because progress isn't always loud, okay? Sometimes it's just staying in the game when quitting would have been easier. So tonight, we're closing out the year the right way. Honest conversations, real takeaways, and goals for next year that actually make sense. No hype, no nonsense, just reflection, a little accountability, and a nice conversation with some liquid drivers. Let's wrap up 2025.
Welcome to the gold standard of podcasts for the gold standard of drivers. This is the Liquid Trucking Podcast with your host, Marcus Bridges.
What's good out there, Liquid Trucking? Happy New Year's Eve to you and yours. From all of us here at the Liquid Trucking Podcast, and welcome into episode, I think it's 109 of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I don't even know. I'm so excited. It's our New Year's special, and we are here to get real and talk about goals, achievements, aspirations, failures, all these things that hit us right between the eyes in the year that was 2025. Today being the last day of the year, and we get a podcast launching on that day, is pretty cool. Gives us an opportunity to sit down with 4 drivers and really suss out how 2025 went. And I told these drivers, and you guys probably saw this if you're listening, you saw the text message that went out to the fleet. I said I wanted to talk about goals that you hit and missed. I want to talk about maybe some resolutions for 2026, yes, but let's reflect a little bit on 2025. Let's talk about our best moments in 2025. And you'll hear me say this, one of my best moments of 2025, hands down, was the Liquid Employee Jamboree. Being out there, getting to actually be in the same room, at the same function with all of you guys, getting to meet all the drivers that I got to meet, man, absolute highlight of the year. Oh yeah, Oregon rolled over Penn State that night and absolutely ruined their program for the rest of the year. So that was pretty cool too. All that happened to me on one damn day, and I was pretty excited about it. So I'm excited to get these drivers in here so we can talk to them about their best moments because, listen, once you start doing what I do for a living, if you ever decide to jump into podcasting, the one thing that is sort of, it's jarring, but it's not jarring in a bad way. It's actually jarring in a very enlightening way, is that you start to realize that, man, everybody's fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Holy cow, is everybody out there up against it? And listen, that's just life, right? Everybody, Dad told you way back when you were a kid, life ain't fair, life ain't easy. All those things come to fruition in a podcast where you're talking about how did last year go. And listen, I'm hopeful. I don't know what these drivers are going to tell me yet. What I do know is they're willing to come on here and talk about it. I'm guessing it's going to be some good, some bad. We'll probably share some laughs, and we'll probably talk about some pretty serious stuff here. So welcome in to the very reflective 2025 New Year's Eve special of the Liquid Trucking Podcast. I'm stoked to have you all here today, and also to have you on the rest of the 51 prior episodes this year, and the 50 plus that came the year before that. So this is just a great day for me. This is another highlight of my year, okay? Right here, right now, doing this with you guys. I'm pretty stoked about it if you haven't figured it out yet. The part that I get less stoked about is the fact that we got to go over the homework, but that's part of the job, right? If you work at Subway, you can't just decide you don't like cutting the bread and throw all the meat and veg on top of it, okay? One of my things that I have to do is tell you about our awesome website, and I have no qualms about telling you about this awesome website because my guy Tyler deserves the tip of the cap for all the great work he does. If you haven't headed over to podcast.liquidtrucking.com yet, simply you're missing out, and I sort of am offended because there's a lot of work that Tyler put into it, but it's like a really cool website if you're into this podcast and you want to know about it. How many of you, by a show of hands that I cannot see, have not listened to every episode of this podcast since it started? Most of you is the answer to that question. So, at podcast.liquidtrucking.com, you can actually see every single episode that we've ever put out. And you go, well, yeah, I can do that on Spotify too. You can, but you can't see all of the information about the guests that we have. The description, yeah, that's on Podbean or on podcast sites as well. You can find it on Spotify and iHeart and whatnot. But you won't get all of the cool Liquid Trucking stats that you can get over at the website. Like, we've got driver metrics up there so you drivers can go on, see how you're shaking up against the rest of the fleet. We also got some merch on there. Maybe you want to be cool like me and have a Liquid Trucking t-shirt in your closet, or a hat, or a sweatshirt, or maybe some new gloves, something like that. There's merch up there that you can buy as well. Podcast.liquidtrucking.com is the website, and I implore you, before the end of the year, to go there and check it out. If you don't make it there by midnight tonight, then I guess you can go tomorrow. I'll still take it easy on you. I'll still be happy that you went and checked out my guy Tyler's handiwork because the dude knows what he's doing when it comes to web development. So once again, podcast.liquidtrucking.com. Go there and check it out. You got an idea for me, something you want to hear on the show? Well, it's pretty similar. You just got to replace one of those periods with an @ symbol. It's podcast@liquidtrucking.com. That's the email address, and it is always open for your suggestions. And yes, I still will hook you up with Drive for Gold points if you suggest a topic and we turn it into an episode. I'm flinging those points out, man. They gave me a whole coffer of the things, and I just get to shovel them into your guys' pockets whenever, because I don't participate in the program. I'm not a driver, so my coffer of Drive for Gold points is for you to take advantage of. So please, podcast@liquidtrucking.com. If you would like to hear something specific on the show, or if you just want to get in touch with me because you want to be on the show, that's also a way you can do it. Of course, as I say every episode, you can also hit me right in the pocket if you've got those digits. If you don't have my personal phone number, one of the drivers that you've heard that's been on this show before will, or you can touch base with the guys at the Plattsmouth terminal or even the Bartow terminal. They've got my number as well. I'd tell you to look out for Cole and Bo. They can hook you up with my digits. And I know he's probably not going to like that I'm going to put him out there for this, but Chris Baltushis down there, Bartow, also has my cell phone number. So if one of you Bartow guys is curious, just talk to Chris. You can also talk to Corey out there. Corey's got my number. Those guys will hook you up. I want to talk to everybody that wants to talk about me. That was a really, really train wreck. Wow. I don't want to talk to anybody that wants to talk about me. I talk about me enough. I want to talk to everyone that wants to talk to me is what I meant to say there. And everybody that works at Liquid Trucking is under that umbrella. So if you want to be on the podcast, you know how to get in touch with me. Podcast@liquidtrucking.com. All right, blabbering over. It's time for me to bring these drivers in and talk to them about reflecting upon 2025. Can't wait for these guys to get on the show, so let's do it right now. All right, welcome back into the Liquid Trucking Podcast here on our New Year's Eve special. And I got 4 drivers here to talk a little bit about the festivities and what they're getting into and how 25 went and how they think 26 is going to go. Let's welcome them in right now. First off, joining me off the top, I got Polar Bear here. Polar Bear, welcome back to the show, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Well, like I always say, thanks for having me on. I'm always glad to come on and share what I know.
Absolutely, man. We're glad you're here. Also joining us today, we got Mikal Donut Duncan on the line. Donut, I understand it's not the best day for you, but it's not the worst either. Is that accurate?
That is absolutely accurate. It's been a little frustrating, but I got on top of it and I got it taken care of. So.
Awesome. Problem solving. It's such a big part of our jobs out here. Well, your guys' jobs, let's face it. The only problems I have are technical, and I just kick my computer and it works. So lo and behold. Also, yeah, absolutely. Also joining us here today, we've got Jason DeFoor on the line. Jason, thanks for being here, man. How you doing out there?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
Well, glad to have you back here on the show. And finally, last but not least, certainly, we got Mike Stanfield joining us. Mike, how you doing out there, bud? You forgot I was going to call you again. You do this to me like, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 5 times. You'll just answer the phone and say, I forgot, but you're here.
Yeah, homie, I have a really, really bad memory, dog.
All right, well, put me and you in the room together, and we can forget just about everything, Mike. So I'm kindred spirits with you there, okay?
Right on.
Awesome. Well, fellas, I appreciate the time as always. I want to start out here by looking in the rearview mirror. And I guess because your guys' rearview mirrors are sort of obstructed, we could say side view mirror instead. But I want to look back on 2025 and talk about, maybe you guys joined me. I didn't even do my homework and go back to see who was on our New Year's Eve special last year, but possibly one of you guys joined us or all of you guys joined us or some mix of the few. So talk to me a little bit about resolutions that you may have set going all the way back to late 2024 for the year of 2025. Donut, I'll start with you here. Any resolutions that you made for the year of 2025 that either came true or didn't quite come to fruition?
I actually was on last year's.
That's what I thought. So what was your resolution?
Yeah.
I'm here to it's time to pay the piper.
It was to get the tabletop ready for playtesting.
That's right. And we haven't talked about your tabletop RPG in quite a while on this show, so how's progress?
So the whole thing isn't ready. It, like I said last year, it's super ambitious. So it's not completely ready, but I was talking to Jason earlier today. My buddy and I think we have 3 of the chosen races that we're gonna have for the game. We have 3 of them ready for playtesting. There's some little minor tweaks to be made, and then we're gonna do a playtest, and then put together a quick and dirty rule set to throw it out to some of the playtesters we have lined up.
That's awesome. I think that's worth a round of applause. You might not be quite as far as you wanted to be, but you made some serious progress in 2025, and here we are ready for maybe some sort of small play test. That's pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, it is. I am. I'm pretty excited about it.
I can hear it in your voice, man.
There was one part of it that was just super complicated, and it was just as soon as earlier this week, I just had a sudden thought, and I went, what if I only give like 6 or 12 options and then create a kind of flowchart, do-it-yourself kind of thing, and that way I don't have to have so many options.
Yeah, there you go.
I did that, and I ran a quick character build with one of our playtesters, who's also my father. But I did a quick run through with building a character using that do-it-yourself chart, and he's like, "This is fun."
That's good, man. Well, that's awesome. So, would you consider 2025 a successful year then, in looking back?
Yeah, I think it. I didn't like you said, I didn't get as much done as I had wanted to, but we got a lot done.
Good, man. Well, that's awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing about the progress as it continues to roll forward with the tabletop RPG. And congratulations, man. There's a lot of people sitting here, myself included, that didn't make hide nor hair of progress on their 2025 New Year's resolution. So any progress is a win in my book, man. And I'm glad to hear that you're still moving forward, kind of cooking with gas with that thing. When are you planning on rolling out the playtest? Do you know yet?
No, we estimate that it's going to take at least 2 more weeks for us to get it to where we think we can play it.
Okay.
and we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it through some paces. In the next few months, we should be able to get some of our more veteran play testers a shot at it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, congratulations, man. Keep us up to date on that. You know I'm going to be checking in with you on it. And who knows, you might even set a New Year's resolution at the end of today's show that has something to do with the tabletop RPG again. So we're pretty good at checking back up on this stuff. It takes us 364-ish days to decide to do it, but we got back to it, and we're holding him accountable here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. So thanks for that, Donut. Let's go next up to Polar Bear. Polar Bear, I can't remember, man. Did you join us on the New Year's Eve special last year?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. Well, did you set any resolutions for yourself last year, and how did they go, if so?
Nope. All I do is set to have a successful year here and stay here, and the company still like me and keep me on, and so far I've fulfilled all of them.
Awesome. Well,
I've had a really good year here.
You know, I had one New Year's resolution that I did get to fill a little bit, but I feel like it was kind of a cheating one because I kind of knew it was going to happen. But I did have a resolution to meet some of you guys face to face. And Polar Bear, I'm talking to you right now. One of the guys I got to meet face to face back in September. That's a successful year for me, man.
I would have to say I'm right there with you. It was amazing. Ever since we've done it, I haven't missed it, and I don't miss, I don't take much time off. I stay out here and work. I live a pretty boring life. It's right here behind the steering wheel.
Amen, man. Amen. Well, you're still here. You've still got the job. The company still likes you. We love you here on the podcast. So would you consider 2025 a success?
Very, very successful. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome to hear it, man. And again, great to meet you in person, and hoping that I get to meet some of the rest of you guys out here in person. I got to meet a lot of drivers at the Jamboree, and they're going to have to fight me out of Nebraska to get me not back there next year. So looking forward to it. Thanks for that, Polar Bear. Appreciate looking back on 2025 real quick. How about on to Mike Stanfield? Any resolutions for you set in 2024 at the end of the year that you were trying to fulfill in 25, Mike?
Yeah, remember I was on the podcast and I was talking about trying to lose weight to go skydiving.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no.
I'm giving you a round of applause anyway because you took it like a champ, okay? That's not easy to do, but...
I love food way too much, man. And, dieting just made me miserable. It made me a miserable person. I felt better, but I absolutely hated it. And I was a pretty grumpy dude because of it.
Okay.
Which is kind of sad to say when, your mood depends on if you're eating the way you want to or not. You know what I mean? But, here's what it is.
I mean, I can side right there with you. Just ask my wife. If I don't get to eat my snacks, I'm not very fun to be around. So I get it, man. And I don't want to go too hard on you here because you did lose some weight there for a while. You were down pretty significantly, weren't you?
Yeah. I ground quite a few pounds.
Yeah. So I mean, look, we can give you. I'm still going with the round of applause here. You know what? I think you did good, and to be able to come on a podcast and say what you just said, kind of lay yourself bare there. There's something to be said for that too, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a man. You know what I mean? I can admit when I've lost. I'm not one of those type of dudes that
like me
gets pissy about it.
Like me. All right, well, so I'll ask you this. Would you consider 2025 a successful year? And that doesn't necessarily only mean your resolution, but kind of like Polar Bear said, there's a lot more that factors into it. Was it a success for you?
Man, honestly, not really. I could probably side with a lot of people when I said that, it's been tough, especially when you have, a family of 6 and, you're doing everything you could possibly do to make sure that your family's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like no matter what you do or how hard you work, it's not enough. And I'm not saying my family's ungrateful because they're not. They're not. It's just that when you're watching your checking account go down and down and down, and you're watching your money and not spending it on, dumb shit. You got to take a step back and be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
Sure.
I ended up, I was home every weekend, but now I'm back out on the road for 2 weeks at a time, just to get us back to where we need to be. Started a business to try to make extra money. That wasn't going very well, and now ventured on to other things. So I'm going to be, I'm on Whatnot right now selling, paracord projects, and now I'm going to be selling knives as well, and eventually have my own website, and eventually have my own storefront, so I can get the hell off the road, because my kids are growing up way too fast, and it's just, this is tearing me up out here.
Sure.
So, I didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer there, but I was just speaking truth.
No, and that's why we want you here, Mike. We want you to be able to be honest and feel safe doing it here on the show. And I get it, man. 2025 was not a year for the record books as far as everybody pumping their fist in unison in the United States of America. There's been a lot of strife out there, and a lot of people are struggling right now, man. I mean, we're not very far removed from goddamn eggs being $9 a dozen. So, like, to talk to some people and realize that, yeah, some people might be struggling a little bit after the year that 2025 was. Listen, we're all right there with you, man. And I want to say good luck with the paracord projects and the knife sharpening and the knife selling. I've been following you on the socials. I think your work's awesome. I know that some of the drivers have been sharing it out there. I know that here coming up on a podcast that maybe you haven't heard yet because of our recording schedule, you got a shout out that did not come from me. Shout out from somebody else at the company for the work that you're doing. So while things might not be, it might be a little bit cloudy right now. I'm telling you, there's a light up ahead a little closer than you think, man. And with your attitude and the way that you go about life, I think you're gonna turn it around in the way that works for you and your family, Mike. I'll say that.
I really appreciate that, and I didn't know there's shout outs coming my way, so I appreciate that too. Whoever's doing that, and I'm just trying to do what is best for my family out here. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yep. And you and everybody else, man. And it's a very noble pursuit. And I don't want to spoil who gave you the shout out, but I think you'll be pretty excited about it when you hear it. So just keep tuning in here to the LTP, and you'll hear it come across the airwaves before too long. Okay.
Bet that up. I appreciate it.
No problem. Now let's talk about 2025 with our last driver here, Jason DeFoor. Jason, did you set any resolutions for yourself in 2025?
To not lose my house.
To not lose your house, okay? And how'd you do?
Liquid's has been a godsend. Like,
they really
have it. Like,
I love being here. I love working for these guys, and they have more than held up to their end of the bargain. What happened was in the end of 2024 there, I was working for Jet Trucking, and they did. I don't know if it was lack of freight or if they were trying to force me to leave for whatever reason. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to the point to where we were charging gift cards on our Home Depot charge card so that way we could eat.
Wow.
And yeah. And so I was on last year because, well, I didn't know about the podcast yet because I had started, my first hire date was December 2nd.
Oh, okay.
So I was just concentrating on hammering down, making money just to get my property taxes paid so we wouldn't lose the bloody house.
Mm-hmm.
And so within the space of about, I'd say 2 to 3 months, not only, first things first, we got our taxes paid, but then all the money that we borrowed from family got paid off and the bills were all caught up, and now we're sitting pretty damn good in the bank account.
Hell yeah,
so we don't have to worry about money again.
Hell yeah. And you didn't lose the house.
No, we did not lose the house.
That's
in
awesome.
fact, the thing too is I'm glad I took a gamble. Like, I've been driving for 20 years now, and there's been a lot of companies where I take a gamble on. Hirschbach, Jet Trucking, and they usually start out being pretty decent, and then there's just something that happens within the company, and it just falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up leaving usually after a year because it just falls apart for whatever reason.
and I can't have that happen because I'm the sole breadwinner of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was between Crete, going back to work for Crete, working on their Walmart dedicated account,
Mm-hmm.
or coming to work here. And I'm glad I actually, made the leap and came to work here.
Things working out for you pretty well, it seems.
Yeah, like I said, Liquid's been amazing. I wish trucking companies would actually adopt the model that these guys have going on. We'd have a lot less crap going on, in all honesty.
I hear you there, man.
I mean, yeah. Like, the trucking industry is way overdue for a revamping.
Yeah, and on this podcast, what you constantly hear are happy drivers, even if things aren't necessarily going okay. I mean, we shared a laugh with Donut there 2 seconds after he told us that today is not the best day. I feel like just as a fly on the wall, my perspective is, that and 50 cents won't buy you a hot cup of coffee, right? But I talk to a lot of you drivers on here, and you guys seem generally pretty happy with the way things go at work. So maybe not a bad idea for some of these other companies to turn on the Liquid Trucking podcast and learn a lesson or two.
Right.
I just want to hear you say it so it's on record here, Jason. Was 2025 a success for Jason DeFoor?
Absolutely.
Another round of applause for you, my friend. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear it. And thanks for sharing the story with us, man. We love to hear stories like that, and I know there's a lot of them. Almost everybody has a story like that from somewhere in their career. Are you going to take a chance, or are you going to go back to what you know? And you know what? I think that a lot of us would say, man, I wish I would have taken that chance in hindsight. So we're glad to have you here, man, and we're glad to see that a year in, things are working good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Can I add something real quick, Marcus?
Of course you can, PB. What's up?
Okay. I just got to back up Jason, because when I had my semi wreck, how good Liquid Trucking is. They helped me. I didn't need to get any money from them, but I was 3 months behind on all of my bills, especially my house payment, and I was in rears so bad that they were getting ready to take it, and the lady called me for the money, and I'm like, I got a broken arm, I can't go to work. And I said, come take it. And then next thing you know, my mom and sister come to help and paid up my mortgage. So I know not exactly how he feels, but almost threatening to lose your house and don't know where you're going to live. So I just wanted to say both how good the company is and trying to lose your house.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good, man. That's a situation nobody wants to be in. And sorry to interrupt you there, Jason.
Well, I was going to say, it wouldn't have been like that horrific because we have our travel trailer that we have, so we could have just lived in that. But
that's not preferable, though.
Yeah, we paid the house in cash. We don't have a mortgage on it. That's why we moved out here to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And because we just got tired of paying mortgages, and we're like, well, let's just sell this house and move and pay for our next house in cash. And so that's what we did. And so, it'd be one thing if the bank came and took it, but to have the local government to come and take it because you can't pay your property tax.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole different level of whatever.
Yeah, both of those scenarios, though. How do you focus on your job when you find yourself in either one of those scenarios? Polar Bear wanting to focus on his job but can't because he's busted up, and you, when you see a company making decisions, and listen, again, we've all worked for these companies, okay? You can see sometimes the bad decision writing on the wall, and sometimes it's in bright red paint and it says run in capital letters, and other times you don't see that stuff. You don't see the writing on the wall until it's too late. So either way, I say great that it worked out for you the way that it did, man. And I'm just glad that you got to come on here and you were willing to come on here and share that with us, because again, a lot like I said to Mike, it's not always easy and it's not always the most exciting thing you'll talk about. And we really appreciate you guys talking about that stuff on here if you're willing. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk real quick while we're on 2025 before we move forward and start looking forward to 2026. And sorry, a little hiccup there in my notes, but I want to talk about your best moments from 2025. It doesn't necessarily have to be one. If you guys had like a series of best moments, that's fine. But if you got one thing that sticks out in your head that happened over the year 2025, I want to hear about it. Let's talk about why 2025 can go off smelling like a rose instead of smelling like a turd, because right now it's kind of smelling like a turd, and we all know that. So, Donut, we're back to you, my friend. Best moment for you or moments of 2025?
I know it's gonna sound strange before I even say it, but I feel like we all listen to me for the unhinged stuff. So, I actually got back into therapy in this year.
Okay.
And it's been doing a lot of good for me. I've made a lot of progress.
That's good, man. And are you going about it kind of the like the BetterHelp way, where you can do it remotely from the truck or from out on the road, or is this somebody that you're seeing in person?
It actually is BetterHelp.
Hey man, I'm not, we don't get paid. There's no advertisement on this show or anything like that. You guys know that, but I've had enough friends that had success with it that even though I've never used it before, I have no qualms calling it out on this show as a resource.
So the first time I had tried it years ago, back when it was a brand new thing, it didn't work out very well for me.
Mm-hmm.
They had a smaller network. The schedules were kind of jam packed, and I never got into it well enough to get somebody I really clicked with.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I had a friend reach out to me. He's like, "Look, a lot has changed. Maybe give it another try. I know you haven't been able to see your other therapist because of financial issues and stuff, but like it's reasonable." And I went and I looked. I'm like, "Oh no, this is better than reasonable."
Yep.
And considering I was spending with my previous therapist that I hadn't seen in over a year, I was spending $150 a week. So
wow,
$600 a month to do it.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
And no, and with BetterHelp, even at its most expensive, it's still close to half that. And right now, not necessarily, I don't know about for everyone, but I got in and at a good time. It's fairly inexpensive.
That's awesome, man. And it's working. You're seeing an impact. You feel better mentally.
I am. I do. Yeah. I don't really talk about it a lot to too many people, but I've struggled really hard with anxiety and depression most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, with the therapist I have now, we've been really working on that. On what makes the anxiety episodes or depressive episodes so bad is a lot of my circular thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And we've worked on that. She's given me a bunch of tools to use.
Well, that's
and
good.
It's turned out really good.
That's good, man. So a series of good moments for you in 2025 every time you dial that phone or jump into that video chat.
Yeah. I know. I feel kind of, I don't know, part of me feels a little bad going, yeah, I've had a great year.
No, man. No, look, because here's the deal. I'll tell you this right now, and I'll go to them and let them say it for themselves, but every one of these drivers either listening or on here with us wants every one of these other drivers that's not on here or just listening or is on here to be well. I know you guys, I've talked to enough of you, you know, when we open up time for final thoughts on this show, 9 out of 10 of you guys say to all the drivers out there, be safe, be good, be well.
Yep.
You know, so listen, nobody here is petty enough to be dogging on you for having a good year, man. So here's some party horns for the series of good moments in 2025 for you. That's what we want to hear here, and I'm happy for you, man, because again, it's not easy. In fact, I just saw an advertisement for BetterHelp the other day. And it's a guy who he's a real patient. He's not paid for this testimonial. And he says, man, it's really hard to open up my computer and get on with the therapist each week. And I don't want to do it ever. But when I do, I feel a lot better. And there's something there, and you are giving us a personal anecdote of that being the case. Like, yeah, maybe it's not always my favorite thing to do, but damn it does some good work for me.
And in fact, like I actually have my appointment today.
Oh, great!
It's here in a few hours.
That's awesome. Tell her that you know a podcast host that could use some real shrinking of the mind. Okay. Might be going to you.
To sign up first, man.
Yeah, I might be going to you for a referral, man. Well, that's awesome, Donut. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's move on. Polar Bear, best moment or series of moments in 2025 for you, my friend?
Well, it's not great. I don't own a $30,000 pickup. I own a $3,000 pickup, but my last one was just a complete dog. I just kept putting money into it. And then my neighbor, I seen the same, well, I thought it was the same year. It's a 95 Chevy, 96. And I'm like, dude, is that for sale? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. Well, then just one day I went up to him and I'm like, I need a vehicle. This thing it needs to go to the scrapyard. And I talked him into it, and it's a 94 Chevy. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't get good fuel mileage either. But it is very, very dependable, and it's a good pickup. And the cruise works on it. That's one thing I hate. I hate not having a cruise.
Of course.
So,
yeah, I think you probably find quite a few kindred spirits in that thought. Give me cruise control or give me death, right, Polar Bear?
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. Because I guess when I was way younger and had no money, everything I had no cruise control. So I've done it for so many years by the foot, And,
Yep. It's time for you to treat yourself.
It really is, because my vehicle sits at the yard 90% of the time. So I don't need a $30,000 pickup to sit in the sun and sit in the snow and in the below zero weather. So I'm okay with my $3,000 pickup sitting in there. And my second good one is I really don't take a lot of holidays off because the kids are out of the house. The grandkids come over and visit, but I stay on the road because I'm working towards mine and my wife's retirement. So this Thanksgiving I took off and got to see with my two sisters. And then I gave the oldest daughter some money to have Thanksgiving at her house. So I took one of my sisters, and she's in the nursing home, but I took one of my sisters and we got to have a really good family Thanksgiving. So
that's awesome.
That's probably my better Thanksgiving one, but I am thankful for my neighbor for having a piece of junk pickup that I could buy that really is good. So to me, that's happier to me, but the heartfelt one is the Thanksgiving thing.
Absolutely. Well, here's some party horns for you and the best moments of 2025. Love that you got to spend some time with the family. Love that you got yourself a new set of wheels that you can rely on and you like, man. That's all good things. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. On to Mike Stanfield. Mike, best moments of 2025 for you, my friend.
Well, it was a series. So we had my son signed up, I think a couple years ago for baseball through the park board. And it was just absolutely horrible. It was so unorganized. And the last season he played for them, they didn't even have a coach. The coach that they were supposed to have didn't show up. So the park board manager had to coach him.
Wow.
So we signed him up for Springfield Little League instead. It was $100 more, but to be able to see his progression from when he played for the park board to Little League was just absolutely amazing. His form got better. The way he tracked the ball got better. His catching got better. His hitting just excelled. I mean, this kid has an arm on him. After this next season, he's going to be going into player pitch. And so I'm going to get him some training to be a pitcher because this kid throws so hard it hurts my hand sometimes.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
That's so cool, man. I love it when a kid hits his stride in a sport, especially young kids, because listen, all they need is a little bit of coaching. They just need somebody that cares enough to teach them the way that they learn. And when they finally, it clicks in with them, man, it's so cool to watch. What a great one there.
Yeah. And not only that, I get to pass down my knowledge from whenever I played baseball too. So being able to pass down what I learned to him is amazing. You know what I mean? And I love that he loves baseball. I absolutely love it. The other thing that the other thing that I didn't know if that gate was going to go down or not. The other thing is I haven't been able to take off for a long period of time for like almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But this year I'm taking off a whole week for Christmas. So I'm going to be able to spend that whole time with my family and actually get some shit done around the house that's been needing to get done for a long time.
That's awesome, man. So that's going to be, because obviously, as you guys know, we record these a little bit in advance. So we're doing our New Year's episode here a little bit before Christmas, but you're right on the cusp of a full week off, man. You got to be jumping from foot to foot right now.
Oh, dude, I am. Like, I'm getting antsy. I'm like, all right, come on. Let's get this week over with. I got 3 days next week. Let's just get it. Come on, let's go.
That's awesome, man. Well, here's your party horns for your moments in 2025. And now we go to Jason DeFoor. Jason, thanks for being patient there. What were the best moment or moments of 2025 for you, my friend?
Well, obviously not losing the house.
That was a pretty good one. We'll go ahead and party horn that one.
That's a pretty good one.
Right off the top, party horns there.
Yeah, and so usually, again, because of how my trucking companies usually work, I usually end up not taking vacations because either something happens and I quit while being on my vacation, so I don't get my vacation money, or I quit before my vacation and they still won't give me my money, or in case Jet, at Jet, I was even trying to cash out my vacation time for some money and they wouldn't do it. Oh, this for vacation time. I'm like, yeah, and that's my money. So whatever. So, I mean, just the fact that when my niece got married this year, and she actually got married in July, and so, most companies only allow you to take a vacation take your vacation time after a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, they're like, we don't care. Like, you can take as much time as you want. If you have your, that's what the PTO is for.
Mm-hmm.
And so by then, within 7 months, I had enough PTO cracked up to take that 1 week vacation. And it was actually nice, not literally being out away from everything and everybody, camping out in our little camper and just, attending our niece's vacation and then wedding. And then after that, we went and did our own thing.
That's awesome.
And it was just nice.
That's awesome, man. Well, here's another party horn for you. I'm dishing them out today. I'm giving them out to anybody who wants them. And I'm just glad to hear. How was the wedding? Was there an open bar? How was the food? I have questions.
Oh, food was amazing. The wedding was gorgeous. It was over there out in the suburbs of Chicago, and there's a place called the Farmhouse, and they do a lot of weddings there, and it was beautiful.
So going up to Chicago is not all that bad if you don't have to do it in your truck, right?
Well, and again, this place is actually just north of Joliet, so technically it's the Chicago area, but you're just on the outskirts where the traffic's really not going to bother you. So
okay,
it was nice.
Good. Well, here's a party horn for traffic not bothering us outside of Chicago. I feel like everybody can resonate with that one a little bit. All right, fellas. Well, we're cooking with gas here. I've had you on for quite a while. I've only got one more thing to go through with you here before we get to our final thoughts and any shout-outs that you want to give for a happy 2026. So be thinking about that because now you know what's coming. I'm not going to have you talk about the success of 2025 and whether or not you met your resolutions without asking you, what's the resolution for 2026? You guys knew that question was coming. I'm going to go ahead and start out for you here. In 2026, I'd like to lose about 10, 15 pounds, fellas. I don't do this. I'm not a guy that likes to share weight loss and getting healthy stories with people because generally I don't do well. I'm the D student when it comes to being in the gym and being healthy. But this year I'm saying it on the Liquid Trucking podcast because just like I hold you guys to account, I want you to hold me to account. Get rid of the spare tire. Chunky, that's what I want to hear from you guys every time you get on the phone with me for the next year and change, okay? I'm getting skinnier. I'm bringing it back down to my wrestling weight. You guys wouldn't believe this, but when I was a senior in high school, I wrestled at 135 pounds. Can you believe that? 135 pounds. Somebody's got you. Mike, you met me in person. You can't believe that, right? That's like 75 pounds less Marcus.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
He's like, yeah, fat ass, I was on mute.
What the hell you doing out there, bro?
Well, listen, man, I'll tell you what, I left Nebraska after meeting you guys in person about 10 pounds heavier because of all the great food that Cleach and the boys cooked up for us. But that's my resolution this year. So now it's your guys' turn. Donut, I'm going to you, man. You're back in the rotation.
Well, like I said last year, I don't really, I don't know that I do the resolution thing right. I just set mileposts and kind of tentative goals.
Okay.
It's really, it's pretty much the same as last year. I want to get through. I actually want to do these play tests now.
Okay. Now that we're ready for it, it's kind of a continuation of the goal there.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of other goals. We have a goal for a freeze dryer at the house. It's kind of funny at my household. There's the three of us there, and two ladies and myself, and I'm the one who buys all the kitchen appliances and all the cooking stuff.
That's fine, man. I'm the same way at my house. You got no idea how excited I get for a new KitchenAid mixer attachment.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my dehydrator, my ice cream mixer, my pasta machine.
God, I got to come over to your house and play with some of these toys in the kitchen, but then I would never meet my New Year's resolution for 2026 if I did that. So, okay, so new freeze dryer and get the play tests finished and move on to the next step of the tabletop RPG. I like it. It's good. I'm writing it down this year, so I'll remember that you were here and I can ask you about it next year. Okay, good. Sorry, go ahead.
And I know you said last year that you and your people were interested in it as well.
Yes, once you get through your high-level play testers, because you got to remember, I'm a novice. I'm a nerd. I don't know any of it. So once it gets to a point where you think somebody with a hollowed-out head like me could help you, I'm still interested. Awesome.
As long as you got an imagination and like 12 or more D12s, you're solid.
Okay. Well, I got friends with just pockets full of those D12s, man. So I will get a hold of some. All right, and you let me know. Keep in touch. We're always talking, you and I, on this show, so we can still make that happen.
You know what? If you're down, I will totally set you up your own custom set of dice. I have a cackle box full of dice.
Damn. All right. I like where this is going. All right. So, Donut, we got your goals in. We are going to get a new freeze dryer, and we are going to get the play test finished for the tabletop RPG. Solid goals for 2026. Polar Bear, it's your turn. Any resolutions or goals that you've got for 2026?
Marcus, real quick, can I interject real quick?
Yes, sir.
Can I go next? Because I'm getting ready to check in here.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
On the scale house.
Polar Bear, hold that thought.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, what's your resolution, Mike? Before you got a jet.
I'm sorry about that. Obviously, it's to continue on with my business. I'm hoping that right now I'm trying to work with a knife company so I can buy a bulk shipment of knives, because I've been able to save up doing my paracord stuff enough money to where I can buy a bulk shipment but I want to be able to buy bulk shipment with them. And then some of these other companies are wanting like $2,500 minimum to be able to buy knives from them. So
Wow.
I want to get to that point, and then from there, I want to have a website. And I don't know anything about, constructing a website. So I'm gonna have to hire somebody to do it, because there's a lot of things that you got to take into account whenever you're selling knives online.
Yeah. Legal stuff.
Different. You got to make sure that they're 18 or over. You got to make sure that where you're sending the knife to is legal for them to have and not stay, which is stupid. It's a freaking knife. Come on. But
California.
Not just California.
Bro, I know, not just California, but you could thank them
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. They're the ones that they're the ones that made it cool, right?
Right.
The city of Minneapolis considered a 6-inch fixed blade an assault weapon.
Well, Minneapolis has got a laundry list of problems right now that we don't have enough time to get into, but that's one of them. That's certainly one of them. So Mike, that's a great goal, dude. And let me tell you something about the website from personal experience. Okay. A couple years ago when Ashley was thinking about getting into the tattoo game, that was her Christmas present for me. I went to Squarespace. I bought her the website. I bought her a year's worth of having the domain name hosted, and I got the web address. She knew nothing about it, and I kind of left it wide open for her to do whatever she wanted on it, and without having to hire anybody, and a lot of time on YouTube and ChatGPT for sure, she has been able to make her website like the focus of her business. And even so much so, this is breaking news here, she had an author reach out to her based on a picture on her website, and she has just this week signed her first deal to do all of the illustration for that guy's book. And that was just a random dude that found her website by Googling images. So if she can do that, you can totally be successful in this knife game, dude. And I don't think you're going to have to spend as much on a nerd to help your website get off the ground. I think you can get through it, dude.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Because like with more and more I look into it, I'm like, shit, dude. There's so much that I have to take into consideration when it comes to this. So I've been doing a lot of research, and
Good.
I'm just trying to get this stuff going first, and then work my way up to that point. But by the end of next year, I'm hoping that my website will be up, fully functional. People will be able to buy and purchase knives from my website, and my wife's going to help me out whenever I get an order. Since she only works part-time, she's going to pack the orders up and ship them out for me while I'm out on the road.
That's awesome, Mike. That's cool. Well, listen, I know you got a job to do here, and we're taking the last precious moments from you before you got to get out there and do it. But good luck to you, man. And we're going to be following, and we'll be checking in with you here on the podcast, because you join us all the time, and we are greatly appreciative of all the time you've given us in 2025 and prior, my friend. It's been a pleasure having you on here today again. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be on. And real quick, I'll give my shout out, and then I'm going to go ahead and get off so that way I'm not on the phone while I'm checking in.
Okay.
That's all right.
Of course.
This is just for, all the liquid trucking, crew, family, truck drivers. I hope your guys' 2026 is way better than 2025, because I know how it is. And I just want everybody to be successful and be able to live I wouldn't say, a lavish life, but a prosperous life, and that they're happy and healthy. So here's to hopefully 2026 being extremely better.
Well said, Mike. Thank you so much, man. Again, we appreciate all the time you give to this podcast, and good luck. We'll be checking in with you, okay?
Absolutely. You guys have a good one. It was good talking to you guys.
You too.
Thanks, Mike. That's Mike Stanfield jumping off because, listen, here on this podcast, we're always thinking about you guys doing your job first. So got to let Mike get out there and earn the paycheck. Polar Bear, we appreciate the patience, man. Thanks for sitting around while we got Mike out of the way there so he could take off. What's a good resolution for you in 2026, PB?
Well, like I said, I live a pretty boring life. I want to keep running out here, I don't think I'm on the bad list of the company, so I ain't got to worry about that, or don't have to worry about that. It's not a good word, but I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, making money, watching the grandkids grow when I got a chance to come in. The good thing is they still know me. They hug me when they see me, so that's a good thing.
Well, you're a huggable dude, Polar Bear. I hugged you when I saw you too, man.
Well, that was the first thing I did. Yeah, it wasn't worth a shake, a shake first to bring you in. And I was so proud to meet you. Like I said, we've talked to each other, and it's just like I met Donut at the yard. I didn't know him. I've met Mike at the yard, but it's you hear the voices, and it's sometimes it's hard to put the face with it. So
yep, you're absolutely right there, man. Well, that's awesome. And I'm going to add to my New Year's resolution. I want to meet, 10, 15 more of you next year at the Jamboree. How's that for adding on? I'm going to lose 10 to 15 and I'm going to gain 10 to 15 in-person friends. All right. That's my goal.
Yep.
Polar Bear, I love it, man. Stay on the road. Do this as long as you think you want to. And again, thank you for all the time you give us every year here on the show.
Oh, man. Like I told you, the first one, I didn't know what to expect, and now I don't want to stay off.
Hey, I hear you, man, and I don't want you to stay off. And Donut, I should tell you the same thing. You spend a lot of time with us here on this podcast. We greatly appreciate it, man, since we're talking about New Year's resolutions. I hope to get twice as many of you guys on this podcast next year, but I really hope that those of you that come on here so often with me, like Mike and PB and Donut here, keep coming on. And Jason, not to leave you out, man, we hope that you come on more too. So great stuff there for your resolution there, PB. Jason, let's get to you for your 2026 New Year's resolution, or just goals. We don't have to call it a resolution. That's kind of played out,
Well, I mean, even goals, I'm usually just a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. Like, if something happens, then I'll just figure it out and deal with it when it happens. But I mean, in all honesty, as much as I enjoy working here, I've been driving for, like I said, 20 years now, and I'm ready to get out of the truck. It sucks because I finally found my company, but I'm at that point in my career where I'm ready to get out of the truck at the same time. And so, yeah, because I'm just tired of my life being fast forward. It's like I feel like Adam Sandler in that movie Click.
Yep, I hear you.
Fast forward life to his promotion.
Yep.
The older I get, the faster it goes. And so, before I found Liquid, I actually was looking into it to become a mobile RV repair guy.
Oh, cool.
And the whole thing was go to, because there's a school down here in Texas. And I checked them out, and like they got a really good program going on. And so the whole goal was to sell the house, more or less move into the travel trailer for a little bit, because when I go to the school, I'm going to get all of my certifications, not just get like the basic and then go work, get some experience and then come back, because from what I understand, with the students that do that never come back because there's just too much work.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So I'm planning on spending the 2 months just knuckling down and getting everything done. And then hopefully, things take off to the point to where we could just, my wife and I, we could just like say like summer, wherever we decide to, and then like winter, I don't know, in Texas, wherever we decide to actually have our, home address at.
Sure. That's awesome.
And, yeah. And I mean, in all honesty, like if it does take off, like I hope it does, I'd actually use it as my pet project to fund something I would rather be doing. And that would be opening up a advanced RV driving school, so to speak.
Oh, teach those guys in those huge motorhomes how to get them around the fuel pumps finally, huh?
Exactly. Teach the motorhomes, teach the big fifth wheel toy hauler, like, but teach everything from a truck driver's point of view.
God, that would be good, man.
Not berate them by any means, but like, hey, this is what we see you guys doing out here. Knock it off.
Well, and hey, if you would like, you could bring me on as a contract employee and I'll berate them, because I don't think any of them know how to drive for the most part, man.
No, I mean, just like before you called, there's this white lady from some other state, putting down the road, and a truck passed her and locked a big old gator right across the front of her truck. I don't think it hit her, but still, wow. It scared the crap out of her to where she was doing, 60, 65, dropped it down to 45. And I'm like,
that's not any safer.
Enough is enough. Yeah, that's definitely not safer. I mean, at least she knew to throw her four ways on. That's a step up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's the universal sign for I just wet my seat. So
pretty much.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck with that. That's all really cool. And you know what? Aspiring to big goals like that is what it's all about, and I'm here for it, man. We will check in with you if we're still lucky enough to have you on board towards the end of the year. But of course, we'll get you on the podcast before the end of the year. So keep us updated on that, Jason. I love it. And since I've had you guys here for so long, this is the second week in a row that my interview is going to run almost an hour. And for those of you that like the shorter interviews, it's too bad. We got a lot to talk about here. And I got one more segment for you guys. This one is obviously, we do this for every time you come on here. It's going to be our final thoughts segment here, but I thought maybe we would tweak this just a little bit in the spirit of what Mike Stanfield did and do shout outs instead of our final thoughts. But I'm not gonna be real rigid with you guys on that. If you want to give final thoughts and then shout outs, that's fine too. Take all the time that you need, and please, the floor is yours. Donut, you'll go first.
I think Mike took all the ones I wanted.
That's all right, man. Repeat them.
I love it here at Liquid. It's been a great year. They've been nothing but good to me. I've had a few missteps here and there, and they've been right with me. They're like, hey, did you think of this? Did you think of that? And I'm usually sitting there going, no, because if I had, that's what I would have done. And they've it's a serious business, but they don't, unlike a lot of other places, they don't take themselves too seriously. They understand the importance, and they understand the importance of their drivers.
100%.
And it's been awesome. I love it here.
Well, that's great, man, and that works pretty good for a shout out, I'd say. I think that I know a couple people that'd be happy to hear that one.
I don't know. It's me. I think they pretty much come to expect me to be totally unhinged.
Well, we appreciate it, Donut. And again, thank you for all the time you've donated to this podcast over the course of 2025, man. We look forward to a safe, happy, and prosperous 2026 talking to you here on this show.
Absolutely.
You're welcome back anytime, my friend. Polar Bear, we're on to you for shout outs and final thoughts, man. What do you got for me today?
Well, I got a couple of them. Starting off with Jason, you're right on. If you don't want to be in the truck, you shouldn't be. This is an industry where you either can or you can't. You've got really good goals, and it's tough to do them when you're out on the road. I feel like I'm seasoned both in age and in driving, and I've got a few years behind me. So I'm just giving you a shout out for that. Go forward with it. And for Mike, I wanted to say, all of my kids are out of the house, and they grew up as me driving, and it's tough. You can't get them years back, My grandkids are growing to me being on the road. So once again, you either can or can't do this job. Mm-hmm. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough. Even if you're a local driver, you're still spending maybe 12 to 14 to 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you're waking up, you're eating, you're coming home, and eating and going to bed. It's tough, and just the other shout out is everyone behind the scene, the girls that do make sure all of our bills get charged out. So we have a check, our trailer mechanics, our shop mechanics, they're always, what do you need? What can I do? I really have no complaints, just the company in general, like it was said. This 24 years here, I've been treated really, really good. I get to pretty much do what I want when I want. And another one is, I tell them every time I'm there, is the Love's workers. We go to Love's all the time. The ones that are out there cleaning the trash from the nasty truck drivers, making sure hopefully the buckets are full to clean our windows, and, the bathrooms are clean, the showers are clean. Every time I see one, I say thank you for working for us, meaning all of us truck drivers, not the four-wheelers. They can go sit on their thumb, but,
and lean back on their finger.
Out here while they're there.
Amen to that, man. Sit on their thumb.
I tried to say it nice.
Hey, always used to say,
hear my boundaries.
I know, man. I'm not even gonna have to beep anything, but I was always told as a young kid to sit on your thumb and lean back on your finger. So that was,
there you go.
And I agree with you, man. I am a four-wheeler, and I will go sit on my thumb when it comes to loves.
Yeah.
But great stuff there, Polar Bear, and thank you, man. Always love having you on the show here. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for being here today.
Yes. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes.
All right, Jason, you ready to bring this thing home for us? Final thoughts and any shout-outs from you before we wrap it up?
I just want to, again, Liquid Trucking has been an absolutely amazing experience here. My DM, absolutely love my DM. Like, he knows that if he gives me something that's going to get done, if I have any issues with it, he's going to be the second to know because I'm going to be the first to know. And so when I lay out a plan for him, all I ever get is a thumbs up from him because he knows I know what I'm doing, and he doesn't have to worry about me. And it's kind of nice, but at the same time, it's kind of like, hey, I'm still alive out here, right? You never hear from dispatch.
Well, don't just leave him nameless and faceless here. Shout him out. Who's your DM?
His name's Brian. I'm probably going to botch up his last name. Brian Coe.
Brian Coe. We know him. I think we might have talked to him a long time ago on this show. We don't get too many DMs in here, but I do believe if we haven't had him on the show before, he's been shouted out before. So I'm glad you said his name there, but that's awesome, man. Anything else?
There was something, and I completely forgot what it was, so I guess it wasn't that detrimental.
Well, now if you say it, they're going to think, well, oh, God, I'm just second fiddle to...
Oh, yeah, as soon as we hang up, I was like, oh, that's right. Right. Bloody hell.
Quit thinking about it. It'll come back to you.
Yep, it will. Right. It will. Listen, Polar Bear, Donut, and Jason, and also the no longer here Mike Stanfield. I was about to say the late Mike Stanfield, and I was like, don't say that. That sounds really bad.
Yeah.
He's just no longer here. He's still with us on this mortal coil, but thank you guys all for the time and effort that you put in, not only today, but to this podcast all year long. You guys are what makes it good. I'm nothing but Steve Nash for this point, or for this podcast, man. I'm here to get the ball to you guys so that you can tell your stories, and you guys bring us phenomenal ones every single time. Thank you all so much. Please be safe out there and enjoy the New Year's holiday. Okay, fellas?
Yes, sir. All right, yep, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's time to put a bow on 2025 and kick it to the curb for the garbage man to pick up next to all the old Christmas wrapping and Christmas boxes. It's time for 2026 to show us its ugly head. Rear it. Show us. Give us the best you got, 2026. I'm not afraid of you. Big thanks to Polar Bear, Mike Stanfield, Mikal Donut Duncan, and Jason DeFoor for coming on the show. I told you in the open that we were going to be real today. And I think what you got out of that conversation is some realness. We talked about a lot of stuff. And you know what? To Mike Stanfield, I thought that was a really, really cool way. I didn't ask Mike to come on. Mike responded to the text messages and said, I would like to come on. And what Mike was doing on this show is holding himself accountable, putting it out there on record that these are the things that he wants to do. And the other guys as well. I don't want to take anything away from Donut, Jason, or PB. Those guys all had great stuff to say too, but it was just a little bit, their stuff was a little more positive. And I think the reason Mike came on here was to say, hey, life is real, life is life happens, and sometimes it doesn't always happen the way we want it to. I asked him to reflect on 2025, and I thought he did a fantastic job right alongside PB, Donut, and Jason. Everybody did awesome. Huge hats off to all of you guys for coming on the show, and I'm keeping tabs, okay? We're going to be talking to Donut about that tabletop RPG. We're going to be keeping tabs with Mike about the website. We're going to be talking to Polar Bear about how things are going out there and how his health is and how's he feeling about 2027. And we'll also be talking to Jason about his plans. He's got some dreams, man, and he thinks maybe those dreams might take him out of the truck before too awful long. Hey, man, hell of a place to talk about it here on the Liquid Trucking Podcast. And I think the support that you heard those guys have for each other is another reason that this episode every year always excites me. Not only did we have guys talking about like the hardships that they went through, 2025 wasn't a great year for everybody. It really wasn't a great year for many. Just check out the price of eggs 6 months ago, as I mentioned. But that doesn't mean that 2026 can't be good. And that doesn't mean that planning it out a little bit, looking ahead into the future, and making that plan of action for yourself is a bad idea. And what I can tell you is based on what we heard here today, the people around you at your place of work are going to support you no matter what. It's a great group of people that we work for here at Liquid Trucking. It gets said on this podcast all the time, ad nauseum, if you will, and I'm okay with it. There's a reason that we don't ever cut it out, is because I think reaffirming that through not only the stories and the support that Liquid gives to the employees, but just reaffirming it in hearing these people talk and hearing them give support to other people because they are truly, genuinely great people is really why I get so stoked for this episode every single year. It is a different feel in this room, and I love it. It's a good feel. It's positive. I don't want to put any negative slide on this whatsoever because there is none. So thank you to those 4 drivers for coming on and talking to us about 2025 and looking forward into 2026. I also want to put this out there since it's the end of the year and we're just putting a bow on it and say thank you to every single person that came on the Liquid Trucking Podcast over the last 52 episodes. You don't understand how many people came on this show to help us out, to just come on and be an expert in a certain scenario, to come on and share a laugh or an embarrassing story, to come on and talk about something serious that maybe needs a little bit of attention and some work, to talk about family stuff and the hardships and things that happen when life gets in the way, to talk about the job itself, good times, bad times, how can we do better, what have we been doing good, all those things and more. I just went through that laundry list. I haven't even touched the experts, the industry experts that come on our podcast. They donate their time. We've never paid anybody a cent to come on this podcast outside of Drive for Gold points. For those of you coming on for the first time, that will remain a thing. But these people just volunteer their time. People like Dr. Mark Manera, who comes on whenever I ask him. We had American Trucking Associations on this year. We had Wreaths Across America came on this year. It's just a never-ending list of people that we need to thank here as we wrap up 2025. So if you gave even a second to the Liquid Trucking Podcast this year, I want to say thank you from me and everybody involved here at the Liquid Trucking Podcast. That's my producer, Jessica. That's my audio ninja, Mike. That's our web developer, Tyler. That's Ari on the graphics. That's Grant running the whole show. And just so many more people that I could add here. Thank you to all of you for taking part in the Liquid Trucking Podcast in 2025. Here is to a phenomenal 2026. I look forward to seeing you guys all there. And let's drop the ball right here with some party horns. Say goodbye, 2025, 2026. I got you in my sights. Stay safe out there, drivers. Happy New Year's. And we will see you on the other side of 2025.
Thanks for tuning in and being the gold standard of drivers on the road. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and tune in next week for another episode of the Liquid Trucking Podcast.
Interested in finding out more about what it takes to bring a podcast like the Liquid Trucking Podcast to your fleet? Bulldog provides tailor-made top-to-bottom podcast production services. We'll meet your terminal staff, connect with your drivers, and bring you the content you want your drivers to hear. Type bulldog.works into your browser to connect with us and learn more about what we can do for your fleet. That's bulldog.works for podcasts, tenacious recruiting, and more.